Hi, I'm Tony Bramley of the Light Academy, the place for simple, easy to understand photography learning. I have been a professional photographer for over 25 years, a Fellow of the Royal Photographic Society and author of the Light Academy Photo Companion Guides. So, how much time do you spend editing your photos? Maybe too much. In this video I'm going to take you through staying simple in Adobe Camera Raw. Please don't forget to subscribe for more help with your photography. And also look out for the link at the end where you can get my image assessment worksheet. I have listed here the tools and keyboard shortcuts for reference. Also, I have already assessed the workflow for composition, depth and any distractions. So here, starting in Bridge, right click on the image and choose Open in Adobe Camera Raw. I start by making global adjustments. This should be very little if you've got things right in camera originally. Then moving down to exposure, highlights and a little clarity for the beach. I find clarity less harsh than the texture slider. Now clicking on the spot removal tool, I'm going to tick the Visualize Spots checkbox, a really good way to check for sensor dust on the image. Staying with the spot removal tool, I'm going to remove the kite on the left hand side, even though it might not make the final crop. Use Command Control plus or minus as well as 0 to zoom in and out quickly when working. Now I will work on the two gulls. Make sure the heeling picks up the correct texture replacement as you work on removing the objects. Changing the tool type from heel to clone, I will now remove these two ships on the horizon. Again, check and make sure the replaced areas clone well. If not, you can always fine-tune by moving the clone source area. To help visualize the compositional balance, it's worth turning the image upside down and zooming out to make it much easier to assess the image's shapes and tones. I can now fix the sky with the gradient tool using the Shift key to keep the drag straight. Go through and make exposure and highlights adjustments as required, and also fine-tune the gradient on the image. To reset all the sliders except the one you are working with, just click the Preset button next to the slider heading. Now clicking on the New button at the top, I'm going to bring in a new gradient on the beach to lighten this area. Now with the adjustment brush, I'm going to lighten that dark corner of the beach. I use the feathered edge of the brush coming in from the corner to soften the effect. Also use the bracket keys to resize the brush where necessary. Zooming in, I'm now going to fix the white top on the girl in the group. First checking for a new brush, then using either highlights, exposure, or even a combination of both to reduce the brightness in the top. Now I'll do exactly the same again with the small gull that is on the beach line. Push the sliders back and forward until you get the right adjustment. You can always click on the mask as well to check for any overpainting down in the bottom here, and then use the eraser button back at the top to remove any spill. Zooming out, I'm ready to finish with the crop. As the edges come in, assess the overall balance and unity of the image. For me, the picture is about symmetry and emphasis of the small family on the beach, with this big sky pushing down on top of them. Rotating and zooming out, have a final assessment of the image. You now have the choice to save the image in another format or open it for further work in Photoshop if required. More importantly though, ensure you click Done to keep your work if you do not save or open it. Here's the final result. A final quick tip for you when working on your images. Try going back a day later and rechecking the image. Sometimes you will see new things that you may have missed before. If interested, coming up is the link to the assessment worksheet. And thank you if you have subscribed.